Right, folks, we're in a practice session at the minute, so when I click start, it will start.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Where's the speaker? Why not that though?
I don't know. What's the three dots do?
God. Because actually.
Mute yourself, please. Why?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the LaSWAP virtual open evening this evening. I'm Laura Stanley. I am Student Progress and Pathways Leader, and I am based at Ackland Burley School. You'll be hearing a little bit from me about EPQs later on. But this evening, you're going to be hearing from lots of my colleagues, from directors, from heads of years from across the LaSWAP consortium. And to start us off, I will hand you over to Mayo Okunlabi, who is the Associate Director of LaSWAP. Thank you, Mayo.
Thank you, Laura. Good evening, Year 11 and families. Welcome to LaSWAP's open evening. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our wonderful consortium. This evening is a chance for you to find out what LaSWAP can offer you for your next stage of education. I'm going to start by talking about how the evening is going to work. Next slide. So whilst that's getting sorted out, okay, so the open evening, just previous slide, thank you, Laura. Okay, so our open evening running order. So from 5 to 5:30 then, it's an introduction to the consortium, where you're going to understand and learn about the range of pathways into LaSWAP. You're also going to find out about our excellent destinations. Where do our students end up? At 5:30, you're going to hear from our current Year 13 students, and they're going to be talking to you about what it's like to study the subjects they've chosen. From 6 o'clock onwards, you're going to be hearing about what we offer to you outside of the classroom, our enrichment opportunities, super curricular opportunities. You'll also hear from one of our heads of year about how we will support you with pastoral care. We will then return to the students as they talk to you about how to make the step up to sixth form, what it's like to move from Year 11 into Year 12 and then Year 12 into Year 13. We'll end the evening with talking to you about questions, answering some of the questions that you have sent in to us. And please feel free to ask questions at the bottom of the screen, where it's got Q&A. Next slide, please. So before we get started then, it's important that I talk to you about who we are. LaSWAP is the most established sixth form consortium in London. LaSWAP's academic results and destinations are excellent. As a consortium, we seek to develop the whole person. We have high expectations and we welcome support and nurture the highest achievers whilst providing support and a great education for all learners. There's a reason why we are Camden's first choice, and I hope this evening will show you those reasons. We're going to hear from our head teachers in a video that's going to play next, and you will see a little bit more about what our consortium has to offer. We're going to play the video now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ella Schlesinger, Director of LaSWAP. LaSWAP is a consortium sixth form formed of 4 schools: Lasanta Union, William Ellis, Ackland Burley and Parliament Hill. All the schools are within a 10-minute walk of each other, based in Camden. I'm very close to Hampstead Heath.
Hello, I'm Sophie Fegan. I'm the head teacher here at Lasanta Union School. LaSWAP provides a welcoming community for students from our 4 schools, but also students who join us from other schools after year 11. Our strong work ethos is underpinned by a welcoming, caring and supportive community.
Hi, I'm Izzy Jones, head teacher of William Ellis School. One of the fantastic things about the SWAP is its brilliant facilities across all 4 school sites. We have Mac suites, photography suites, specialist science labs, brilliant sports halls, everything that we need for both our curriculum and our enrichment activities.
Hello, I'm Nicholas John, head teacher at Ackland Burley School. By coming to LaSWAP, you will be accessing an unrivaled curriculum offer. Because we combine the strengths of 4 separate schools, we offer a very wide range of academic A-levels and also the widest possible range of vocational subjects.
Hi, I'm Sarah Creasy. I'm the head teacher at Parliament Hill School. We're really proud of the examination results across the consortium. We have a proven track record of supporting students into top universities across the country, into the elite Russell Group, including Oxbridge.
Hi, I'm Holly. Hi, I'm Faith.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
Hi, I'm Ison.
Hi, I'm Haven. What I liked about the SWAP is that it had a real university kind of feel to it.
The atmosphere of it really felt like friendly.
So I really enjoyed the SWAP, had a lot of good friends there.
The teachers will go amazing lengths just to support you in whatever you want to do. They'll stay behind with you to make sure that you get your work done. And the students as well, they were always so supportive regardless if you knew them very well or not.
Well, this building behind us I found really nice. It was like a really good place to go and study, and because it was away from the main school with all the younger years. It was also really nice to socialise there at break and lunchtimes.
Because it's such a big sixth form, there's like basically every course that you could kind of think of. So I did health and social care, and what people don't know is that there are actually really good access courses into high unis as well.
Being an external student, I would say I was very tempted to stay at my secondary school because it's a community that I knew the people, I had a great relationship with the teachers, so I really wanted to stay there. But I was like, you know what, why not go somewhere different? Because it's nice to step out of your comfort zone, experience something new, and I guess that's what you're going to ultimately do when you go to university.
A jump from GCSE to A-levels is bigger, I would say, than A-levels to degree. And with the drilling that the teachers made me do, always doing the reading, I can fly through a book now in my early stages of university life. So this is the sixth form to come to if you actually want to, do well at university.
So thanks for everyone for your attention so far. I am about to introduce Ella Schlesinger, who is another one of our directors at LaSWAP. Thank you, Ella.
Good evening and welcome to our remote learning evening. Just to say, I'm going to start off by saying that lots of the information that is being gone through at the moment is available on the website, and there'll be more details of where to find that information at the end of the presentation. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the practicalities about the consortium, because it is a bit different to being in a single school sixth form. And I'm then going to go and talk about kind of our wider vision of what your time and education at LaSWAP will be like. So in practice, how does it work? Well, there are 4 schools, as you've just heard, that make up the consortium, and you will be based at one of those schools. That means that at that school, you'll have a form tutor, a head of year, and that will be the school that looks after your pastoral care. But it might well be that you have a subject that is taught at a different school. And so it's a really lovely place where you start to kind of develop your independence, start to be able to travel around and start to kind of get a sense of a campus feel, very much like you might do if you were at university or in a workplace placement. So lots of those kinds of stepping stones are really, really supported by joining the consortium. As you've just seen, the schools are in really close vicinity to each other, so less than a 10-minute walk from each other. So the commute between some of your lessons is really, really manageable. And the students, as you've heard, really, really benefit from that campus feeling. It's really kind of, it's a very enjoyable experience, but the best way to really kind of gauge what that's like is to hear from the students themselves what that experience is like day to day. And we're going to show a short video that has been made from a student point of view about what a typical day in LaSWAP is like.
Star in front of!
My name's Alfie and I'm a Year 12 student at LaSWAP.
My name's Emanuela and I'm a Year 13 student.
We really like it here.
And so we wanted to give you a flavour of what it's like to be a student at LaSWAP.
LaSWAP is one of the biggest sixth forms in London. It's spread over 4 bases, Ackland, Burley and Tufnell Park, and just 10 minutes walk away, LaSanta Union or LSU, Parliament Hill and William Ellis beside Hampstead Heath.
We're big in that we have obviously the 4 schools in the consortium, and what that means for students coming to LaSWAP is that they can do pretty much any combination of A-levels and BTECs that they are qualified to do, and that puts us in quite a unique position in London actually.
I'm doing A-levels in maths, psychology and applied sciences, which I do at Ackland Burley.
And I'm based at Parley. I'm studying maths, sociology and history, which I do at the new sixth form centre.
This is a pitch for the Declaration of the People's Republic of China. So, 2 minutes, think, pair, share. What does this suggest to us about Mao's position as leader?
He's reading off the script, which is like metaphor for something. You can't really see the people there as well.
Well, it symbolises, it's a traditional Chinese colour.
I'm off to my sociology lesson, which is at LSU.
And now I have my psychology lesson at the sixth form centre next to Parley.
LaSWAP is the only sixth form in the area offering product design.
I think it would be a bit smaller than 200.
Right, mark up the size you want it, I'll cut it on the bandsaw and then you'll glue it together and then it'll be ready for next lesson, yeah?
I've worked in other boroughs and I would say because where we are in Camden, we have so many opportunities working with other industries and businesses and creative people, and we have the first opportunities to go out and visit industry and they come to us with great exciting opportunities.
At lunchtime you can hang out in the sixth form centre and chat.
I was considering going to another different sixth form. I went to the open evening, it appealed to me. And I did well enough here that I felt confident that if I continued and stayed, I'd be able to still do well without going to more selective sixth forms.
Well, when I came to LaSWAP, I decided to pick business level 3, which is a BTEC. When me growing up, I just used to love maths, so anything that involves maths, I would love doing it.
So I'm really indecisive in what I want to pick, and when I had to try and pick what A-levels I wanted to do,
My head of sixth form was really nice about it and helped me from changing from psychology to economics, and it was a really quick process as well. So
I think for me it's relationship with the teachers, just knowing if I have any problems I can immediately go to them.
And just the atmosphere is completely different to any other school.
One reason why I chose the SWAP is the extracurricular opportunities. They do the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award and sports clubs, and a 2-week trip to a school in Uganda every summer.
We took across like loads of books and stuff to give them because they don't have any resources there. So it was a really, really amazing experience for all of us. It was really good. It was incredible.
What I really enjoy about LaSWAP is that it helps you a lot with UCAS applications, and it helps you with career support, and it helps you to find out more information about university courses.
Thank you everyone for coming, and hopefully this will be a really useful session for you.
This kind of event is typical. LaSWAP played on speakers from Girton College in Cambridge because some students are interested in going to Oxbridge.
My ambition is to go to medical school, and LaSWAP helped me by setting me up with different placements like a hospital, a GP and Wellcome Trust, and they've set me up for my dreams in the future, and they just help me be in the best position that I can, and I just find it just amazing here.
Obviously the next stage is important for all of us, and LaSWAP gets people where they want to go.
LaSWAP has always had a really excellent track record in the destinations that we provide for our students and the support that we give our students. We're very proud, obviously, of our students who go to Oxbridge and our Russell Group University entrance, which is above the national average. However, we're equally proud of our students across the academic ability range who go on to a vast range of really different, stimulating, challenging courses at HE and increasingly apprenticeships.
We're both studying psychology at uni next year.
Great. I'm getting along. Very pleased. I was very pleased when I saw you myself.
So I basically got the grade.
I did alright. Yeah. I got an A and the other stuff will not be disclosed.
Got into uni.
Oh my god, I'm a genius. I'm going to get into any uni now.
You're going to make friends for life, and you are going to have teachers that will support you no matter what. So it's worth it. Stay here. Come to LaSWAP.
Well, in my experience, I looked around a few different schools, and I really felt that LaSWAP was my kind of school.
What I would say is LaSWAP felt the most welcoming to me, so my advice would be find a school that's the most welcoming and most enjoyable to you.
Okay, so hopefully that will have given you a taste of what a typical day is like for a student who comes to LaSWAP. I'm just going to talk through a little bit more about some of the things really that we're particularly proud of in terms of the education that we provide, but also things that you need to think about when you're making choices around your post-16 study. So, studying at LaSWAP is more than just the lessons that you go to. We know that it is about the qualifications that you get at the end of your 2 or 3 years with us. And that might be about the different types of course that you decide to do. So maybe that is about the fact that you like to learn in using coursework, or you like to learn with an exam at the end of it. Or it could be about the fact that you know that you need to take a particular package of qualifications in order to go on to the next steps, be that university or elsewhere. However, we also know that there has to be a choice around curriculum, about the subjects that you want to study. And we are incredibly lucky to be able to have teachers who are experts in delivering the qualifications and courses that we run. There are a huge number of courses, as you'll hear, and teachers are able to actually have variations within those subjects. So for something like English or history, to suit the expertise that the teachers that are in the room. But we also know that in order to be successful post-16, just like lower down the school, we need to have a really strong pastoral care system. So everybody will have a tutor when they join, and that person will be the person who looks after them for the next 2 or 3 years, who writes their UCAS reference or job reference or apprenticeship reference, and is really kind of making sure that people are happy and thriving, that they're communicating across the schools as needed and doing really, really well. That is then backed up by a really strong enrichment offer. So we know that in order to be successful, not just post-16, but later on in life, it's about those additional things and opportunities that you want to participate in. And we'll hear more about some of those opportunities later on this afternoon from the students and from other members of staff. So, in terms of our community, we are really, really, really proud of our young people who are the kind of heart and soul of the LaSWAP community. And you will have seen that, the kind of busy, thriving environments that we are working in. But our community is much broader than that. We know that we're very lucky to have immensely supportive parents, teachers, and support staff, all that work together in order to make LaSWAP a really, really happy and thriving place. We know that as the 4 schools that are already working in close collaboration together, we take about 60% of our Year 11 students through into post-16, and that we have about 40% of students who are new to our schools. And you will have seen that in the video, that people are always able to make new friends, that actually as long as everyone is friendly and warm and kind, and this creates a really stimulating and welcoming environment. And all of those things together mean that we are really, really proud of what our young people become. So this notion of a LaSWAP graduate, through the quality teaching that we offer, through the environments, through that kind of range of learning opportunities, means that we know the students leave us ready for the world in front of them, mature, able to challenge where appropriate, open-minded and comfortable, as we've said, and really, really proud of themselves as lifelong learners. Part of the thing that feeds into that are the different kind of pathways that students can follow. And I'm going to hand over now to Mr. Hinham, who's going to talk through some of those pathways in a bit more detail.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Schlesinger. My name is Neil Hinham. I'm the Director of Sixth Form at LaSanta Union School. At LaSWAP, we are very proud of our curriculum. As Ofsted commented, the breadth and flexibility of the curriculum on offer here at LaSWAP is truly outstanding, and we're really focused on meeting students' needs. In terms of the pathways you can study at LaSWAP, we have 3. Some students will study a level 1 qualification that will move on to a level 2 qualification in activity leadership in conjunction with Talika. Some students will do a 3-year sixth form where they will consolidate their level 2 qualifications in year 12, perhaps resit GCSE English and Maths if needed, and then if they meet the criteria, move on to level 3 courses in year 13 and 14. And students study level 3 courses, and these can be A-levels or applied courses such as BTEC and Cambridge Technical. Now, when you're thinking about which pathway you're going to take, there is a lot to think about. You'll want to think about the style of assessment of a certain qualification and whether that style of assessment particularly suits you. You want to have a look at the entry requirements for those different pathways. And as has been mentioned, and as my colleague Miss Brimington will talk about later, you want to think about how those qualifications can link on to the post-18 options of university and apprenticeship. Please have a look at the LaSWAP website to find more details about the entry requirements for the different pathways and for the different subjects. Because we are 4 schools working together, we can offer a truly unrivaled curriculum. LaSWAP is the sixth form of choice, and pooling the resources and the teaching talent of those 4 schools, you will find that you can really, there's really a wide variety of subject combinations that you can take. It truly is a curriculum that supports, nurtures, and challenges all of our students. So I just want to give you some examples of students who've taken our pathways and how they've done. So many of our students will study A-levels. This could be 3 A-levels, this could be 4 A-levels, and students often add perhaps an EPQ to their qualifications to boost their overall profile for applying for university. We also have students who study vocational courses. We offer some triple BTECs. So for example, Faith studied a triple BTEC in health and social care. and she achieved distinctions across the board and is now studying midwifery at King's College London. Some of our other vocational students have chosen to do a double BTEC and then picked up an A-level alongside, or perhaps like Ollie, picked up an EPQ and math studies alongside. And you can see that Ollie is now studying biomedical science at Brunel University. For those on a 3-year sixth form, it really gives them the opportunity to consolidate their level 2 results and then move on to a level 3 course. So Denzel there, you could see he took the 3-year sixth form in year 12. He resat English and maths, as well as taking level 2 media. And then in year 13, he was able to move on to study 3 A-levels. And at the end of year 14, he was very proud of his 3 B grades in film, media, and sociology. For those on the Talika pathway looking at sports leadership, remember that can also move on to level 2 and level 3 qualifications. And you see here that Daniel moved on to study at the University of East London, studying sport and exercise science. And many of our Talika students also move on to universities such as Loughborough. So it's probably a very good time to think about where those pathways can take you. So in terms of post-18 destinations, I'd like to pass to Anna Rimington, Director of Sixth Form at Ackland Burley School.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to students and families in Year 11, wherever we find you. My name's Anna Rimington, and I'm the Director of Sixth Form at Ackland Burley School. It's one of the 4 schools in the consortium, of course. I actually think I've got the best part of tonight's programme to talk to you about, so forgive me. I've got outcomes for our students after they leave us, and what outcomes means post year 13. It's a combination of our results plus destinations. I was just responding to someone in the chat actually and saying, because we're 4 schools, we publish our results school by school because we all teach different subjects. But I will actually make sure they're all on the LaSWAP website so you can see them in one place. The results at LaSWAP are really strong. They enable the full range of our students to move on to a range of exciting post-18 destinations, whether that be university, degree level apprenticeships, art foundation, always a strong component at LaSWAP, or the world of work. At this point in year 11, students and families, you're going to be looking at a whole range of different sixth forms, I'm sure. And our results reflect who we are as an institution. LaSWAP students are extremely successful in accessing top grades. And I think, as you heard in one of the films, teachers here are very skilled at getting students there. We really know our students, and we have the benefit of being both big and small. We're not, however, an institution that focuses solely on the highest achieving academic students, and we are and are proud to be an inclusive sixth form, which caters for the full range of abilities. And I think you would be pleased that we would say that. You'll agree, I'm sure, that for some students, securing a C grade at A-level represents a huge achievement. And I know that teachers here are really good at never losing sight of the routes to success for students as individuals. It's not just about our very many students who secure those A star and A grades. So as we move on, I'm going to talk about progression and give you some facts about where our students go. So every year, about 80% of our students go on to higher education, and you've got the kind of comparable figures there for Camden and nationally. And approximately 24% of students go on to top universities, Russell Group universities, and that's comparable with about 18% both Camden and nationally. And it's roughly 5% of our students who go on to Oxbridge. I'm going to talk a bit about the Oxbridge programme in a second. We also have really strong progression to level 5 and 6 apprenticeships, and we've secured some excellent ones over the last couple of years, including students going off to Microsoft and Visa. And if we just go through the next slides, this slide indicates, and this is A-level, a selection of A-level destinations. And then on the next slide, don't worry, you will be able to see all of this on the website as well, so you can go back at your leisure. We're really pleased as well. This slide shows you a selection of destinations from some of our students who did vocational courses. And the reason I just want to linger on that for a second is sometimes students come to us and think that the applied courses aren't an access route to education. That's absolutely not the case. And so that slide there gives you an idea of the kind of routes. And as we'll be talking about in a second, you can see there the student did an EPQ, extended project qualification, and we're going to go on and talk about that in a second. So if we move on, I want to just outline some of the ways that we're going to support your child with next steps. It's really important. I think it's such an asset. Every school in the consortium has a dedicated higher education advisor, and that person is available for advice and guidance and support with the UCAS programme and process, and actually about all parts of next steps and pathways. The Higher Education Advisor is supported by our superb independent careers advisors. They're based in all 4 schools. There's a whole team of them, and they bring their particular expertise around apprenticeships, particularly in the local employment landscape. Now, you can see on the slide there that every school across the consortium teaches the extended project qualification, and that's called the EPQ. And I'm going to hand over to, we're lucky enough to have one of our teachers, she's actually hosting the webinar tonight, Laura. And I'm going to hand back over to Laura, who's going to talk to you briefly about the EPQ. Laura, over to you.
Thank you, Anna. So as I said at the beginning, I'm based at Acklam Burley and I'm the EPQ supervisor and coordinator at Acklam Burley, but each school has its own EPQ supervision and coordination team. An EPQ, extended project qualification, is an independent research portfolio and project. The student chooses their own topic, an area of research. And then over about 18 months, they put together that extended research. And at the end of it, they write either a 5,000-word mini dissertation or they produce an artifact that is the summary of everything they found out in the last 18 months. It's very evaluative. It's very analytical. And it's absolutely loved by universities because it really shows that students have their own independent interests and that they're able to take that interest and develop a project around it. EPQs are available to all students doing all courses. So it's not just A-level students who are offered EPQs. In fact, the majority of my students doing EPQ are vocational students, and students with all kinds of strengths can succeed and do really well on an EPQ. In a practical sense, it's also worth the same as an AS level. It's the same weighting as an AS level. So it can help in terms of UCAS points as well if you are looking to sort of boost your profile when you do apply to university. Thanks, Anna.
Thanks a lot, Laura. Hopefully you can hear me all again now. Okay. I'm just going to take you through the last couple of points on the slide, which were around summer school and the work experience programme. We have a really strong, robust work experience and summer school programme, and that's promoted to all of our year 12 students as part of kind of next step preparation. We call it kind of super curricular enrichment. And we've sent students off to some absolutely brilliant summer schools and work experience. One example would be being located where we are in Camden means that students have secured fantastic placements at places like the Crick Institute, Google, Spotify, one of them actually leading on to an apprenticeship a couple of years ago after they'd done their work experience there. So again, in one of the videos, a teacher in computer science, if you look on that later, the videos that are going to be available on the website, talks about how actually we are such a hub in where we are in Camden in terms of opportunities. For our students who apply to Oxbridge and for medicine, and we always have a really strong component of students who do that every year, our early entry programme, we have a consortium-wide bespoke programme of support and guidance, including trips to colleges that we have links with, coaching for interviews, personal statement workshops, absolutely loads more. And we've got valuable links with a variety of different institutions who supplement our programme around early entry, including Highgate School, who run masterclasses and mock interviews. And I'm delighted that this year we've been joined by our professional orchestra, who are housed at Acklam Burley School. The Orchestra of the Age of Enlightenment are now our in-house orchestra and live at Acklam Burley School. And we're getting them involved in lots of things. And one thing we've been able to get them involved with their team of professional musicians they've become part of our Oxbridge preparation. I'm going to call them a hit squad, it's not quite the right word. And they really bring a level of academic excellence and standards to our offer around our Oxbridge students. In fact, just before this event kicked off this evening, a year 13 student ran into my office to tell me that she's just got her Cambridge interview through, and she'd had her mock interview with one of our new colleagues in the Orchestra of the Age of Enlightenment. It was a languages interview, actually. So we're delighted and thinking about the way that we can build up and supplement our early entry programme. Okay, and if we move on, you've heard from me, and the best thing to do now, though, is we're going to start hearing from our students, and they are live with us this evening. And I'm going to hand over to our Associate Director, Maya Ogunlabi, who is going to introduce some students to you. Oh, Mayo, I'm afraid we can't hear you. So we might just have to play around a bit. We can see you now better.
Okay.
Hello, miss, we can hear you. Perfect.
Hi. So, sorry about that. So we've got a group of year 13 students here who've given up their time to talk to you about what life is like at the SWAP from a student perspective. I think this is a really important part of an open evening to get to meet students and to kind of find out what the experience is like. I'm going to get them to introduce themselves. Please let us know. Please let us know, Miss Remington, whether you can. Please let us know, Miss Remington, whether you can hear us. Okay, go for it, Ardit.
Hi, my name's Ardit. I study A-level geography and BTech applied science.
Hi, my name's Mahi. I study A-level art, physics and maths.
Hi, my name's Aisha. I study maths, further maths, physics and history.
Hi, my name is Eunice. I study applied business, AS mathematics and media A-level.
Okay, all right then. So I'm going to move the laptop just a little bit closer, just so you can hear them really clearly. Okay, so let's start then. One of the big questions from year 11 is always, what is it like to study the subject? Yeah? So let me start with you. What's it like? What's your favourite subject?
One of my favorite subjects is BTech applied science because of how broad it is. You study all aspects of science, with it including coursework as well as exam-based. And it's just a big passion of mine that I get to study in biology and look at different aspects from immunology and all sorts.
Similarly, my favourite subject is media due to the fact that it's quite broad, and we also get to use software such as Photoshop as part of our coursework.
My favourite subject is art, as we get a lot of creative control over our coursework and we get to do what we want.
My favourite subject is maths because I enjoy learning about methods and processes to solve the problems.
What I enjoy about A-levels is that it's a great step up from GCSEs, where you get to look into your subjects in more detail and in more depth. So from a GCSE level, it can be kind of basic, but when you go into A-levels, you get to study more around the subject and look into the details of how it works.
What subject did you find the most challenging, and how did you overcome those challenges?
For me personally, it was the transition from GCSE physics to A-level physics, as everything was a lot more in-depth with a lot more content. But to overcome this difficulty, I had to put in the hours which were relevant to A-level, and that meant more revision and more work in general, which I was fine with as I liked the subject.
As well as that, many teachers can help you with the transition between GCSE and A-level, because it can be daunting for many students with this step up. But around you, you've got support from your friends as well as teachers.
Actually, this time last year, I really wanted to drop further maths, but I think a lot of it is just perseverance, and a lot of the things that you'll study at A-level, you've never studied before, so you can't beat yourself up if you don't feel good enough at it yet. And my mock grades now are showing that actually just keeping going was all I needed to do.
What advice and what they're going to study. What they need to do, work out what they're going to study.
I would say make sure you study the subject you like, because when you do move to A levels, it can be very intense, and you need to have a subject that you have a passion in. So make sure you try the taster days, make sure you look in and read into the subjects, as it is something you're going to do with high intensity and a lot of effort. So when you have passion in that subject, make sure you want to do it.
Eunice, I would recommend to do a subject. If you're doing multiple subjects, you're quite broad. This is giving you quite a lot of options when you're going to university, and also try to make it specific in what you want to do after you leave the SWAP.
Following on from what Ardit said, definitely read around your subject, because as we've already mentioned, the jump from GCSE to A level is quite big. So what you might like at GCSE, you might not like as much in A level due to the work intensity and the content. So definitely read around your subject that you're thinking about studying and see how you think of it.
What
my number one piece of advice is keep on top of all your work. If not, stay ahead, because once you fall behind, it's so demotivating to try and catch up, and you feel like you should just give up on that subject completely. So stay on top of it and take year 12 seriously. Have fun, but no matter how many times someone tells you that year 12 is so hard, you need to believe them. Like year 12 is much different to year 11.
And Eunice, if you lean in a little bit closer to the microphone so people can hear you. So what about you? What do you think? What does a year 11 going into year 12 need to do to be successful in the subjects they choose?
Well, they need to be constantly doing the extra bit to help them get them prepared for the next lesson. Following on what Mahi said, they also need to study a little bit more, like this, they're securing that they're getting the highest possible grades.
Ardit.
I would definitely agreeing with Aisha. Make sure in year 12 you keep up on all of your work, because you may think around that it's year 12 and you can't take it seriously, but A levels do fly by, as it's only 2 years of your life. And I can just remember being in year 12, but make sure that you know what you're doing, you have fun with it, as well as making sure you keep up and focus on all of your work.
To add to their points, it might sound daunting, but it's really not that hard to stay on top of your work. Just that extra half an hour per day will mean you're on top, maybe even ahead.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate your time. I'm sure that was really helpful for some of the year 11s who are kind of making that next step up. I'm now going to hand to Stephen Jones, who's head of year 13 at Parliament Hill School. Thank you.
Good evening, a very warm welcome to you all, and my name is Stephen Jones. I'm head of year 13 here at Parliament Hill School. I'm very fortunate. I'm a very fortunate member of staff to be part of a highly experienced pastoral team that works across the whole consortium. So you can rest assured as a student that you'll be supported and cared for while you are with us. And as a parent and a carer, I can also assure you that your son or daughter will be cared for in their academic and pastoral development. The pastoral team is overseen by our director in each of the schools, and then there is a head of year 12 and a head of year 13, and then we have our tutor team. Your son or your daughter, and you as a student, will be in a tutor team, will be in a tutor group in one of the schools. Your son or daughter and you as a student will have high pastoral and academic support to support your well-being while you are with us. In turn, we have an extensive sixth form team, administration, attendance, well-being, counselling, who all work together to help you flourish in our school. We also have an extensive tutorial programme, and each week we have a series of speakers and tutors who talk about your social, economic and well-being development. We're very fortunate also to work with lots of outside agencies and speakers and support groups. So, for example, we have organisations like Career Ready, Circle, or Mentoring, and the National Citizen Service, who come in to work with us and our students to support us and develop their development while they're with us. Each year, we also run the UCAS University Fair, where we take all our Year 12 students to that. And we also have our students attend the Apprenticeship Fair, because we want all our students, whether A-level or vocational, to develop themselves while they're with us. As you will see from the slides, each of the schools has its bespoke study space where students can work and be productive, have access to ICT and technology, and have a study area where they can be successful. It's also important to understand that we are really here for your son and your daughter as you as a student. We want them to flourish, we want them to develop, we want them to be helped, supported, and feel they're going to do really well, not only academically, but also pastorally. And one of the ways in which they can do that is also through our enrichment programme. And I'm going to pass on to my colleague, Miss Wilson at William Ellis, to talk about our programme at LaSWAP. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, as Mr. Jones said, I'm Flora Wilson. I'm Director of Sixth Form at William Ellis. And I know that my colleague, Miss Rimington, said earlier that she had the best part of the job of the evening. But actually, I think I do, because enrichment is such an important part of life at LaSWAP. And I think we really recognise as a consortium and as an education provider that learning is not just about what happens in the classroom, but it's about what happens beyond. We know that excellent results are important for you in order to achieve your goals in life, but actually they're not the only thing that is really important in making sure that you develop as a successful and confident adult, negotiating and navigating different ways into your higher education and your future employment. And so we recognise that it isn't just about what happens in the classroom, as I say. I think one of the most important things actually about sixth form education is gives you an opportunity to really discover the passion that is going to propel you through your adult life. You can see on the screen now some of the slides, some of the examples of some of the extracurricular stuff that we do, building on the pastoral programme that Mr. Jones has already talked about. So we have quite a lot of opportunities for sport within the tutorial programme. You can see on the screen there's a picture of the annual LaSWAP Rounders tournament, which takes place on Hampstead Heath. But we also have regular opportunities for football and netball tournaments. We also have at Wes a gym where people can come and use the gym equipment, and they often do that within school hours and after school to make sure that they're keeping fit and healthy. We also have different things though available. Again, on the slide, you can see different things. We have a professional theatre, a play that we house in a professional theatre every year. That's a great opportunity, whether you're interested in performing or whether you're interested in kind of backstage stuff. Maybe manning the lighting, managing sound, being a stage manager, those sorts of activities. Really important to get involved with something, and really crucially kind of exciting to do that in a professional environment rather than just a school theatre. That opportunity also exists for students that are interested in doing dance. Acklam Burley run a show every year, again in a professional theatre, and you don't have to be studying dance A-level or the Performing Arts BTEC to audition for a slot in that show. So that's a really exciting thing too. We also have opportunities for people who want to perform in music. Again, you don't have to be a student of music or music tech to take part in the music jams that happen every half term, where students show us their talents and are really celebrated by the whole community. If performing arts is not really your thing, you can see again on the slide, we run the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award programme, and that's based here at Wes, and it's a great opportunity to really kind of challenge yourself both physically and mentally, and make sure that you kind of grabbing life by the horns, I think the expression is. This all sounds very active, but I want to kind of say if it doesn't sound appealing to you, if you're more of a passive consumer, and want to enrich your life in a more passive way, then that's also something that we facilitate. We have a great programme of outside speakers that come in as part of the tutorial programme, but also as part of subject and other sorts of enrichment. We also run theatre trips. So again, you don't have to be studying drama or film to be going to the cinema or the theatre with us, because we run those theatre trips quite regularly, and trips to the art galleries and things like that. As I think has already been said this evening, Camden in particular, but London as a whole, is so rich in opportunities. Sometimes students can feel a little bit intimidated by taking part in those opportunities or taking those opportunities individually. And that's where we come in. We really facilitate them to do exactly that. Lots of our enrichment activities are student-led, and they are interested, as many young people are, in ideas of social justice. We run a kindness campaign here at WES, which again is student-led, and the students this year are really kind of thinking about how they can support their communities who are struggling with the pandemic at the moment. But also there are other issues around social justice that students have really kind of cottoned onto and really are involved in. We have some students from LaSWAP who are currently working on a campaign to increase the age of criminal responsibility for children. It's a really interesting campaign. There's been some local press coverage about that. So if I were you, I would check out the hashtag raising the age of criminal responsibility. But we also have we have some really exciting trips that go on. In terms of extracurricular trips, my colleague here at WES runs a trip to Uganda every year, where students are really involved in raising money for a local community there, and then go out and go to the community and really take part in some really exciting community projects, building relationships with people who live in Uganda, which often kind of are sustained across really quite a few years. We run a Mandarin club, a Parliament club, we run an environmental and conservation club. So there's lots of things that are happening within school to broaden your interests and to get involved in. We also, though, run quite a lot of super curricular stuff. So extracurricular things are things that happen that are beyond the curriculum that you do. And super curricular is actually about deepening and extending your understanding in particular subjects, in the things that you're really learning about. Again, so you can see here, there are some trips, you know, some of the trips are to see things that are really relevant to your subject. LSU run trips to Rome for their RE students. WES run trips to the different countries of people studying languages there. We run, there's a physics trip to the CERN Institute to see the Large Hadron Collider, and those sorts of things. Film studies students go to film studios, lots of different things like that happen. It's a really exciting thing. We also have enrichment within school, supercurricular enrichment within school. So there's a classics club where visiting professors come and talk to the students about their research. There's also a history film club where people compare the interpretation of history that is offered by Hollywood and see whether it really matches up to reality. All of this supercurricular stuff really prepares people for their next steps and really helps people understand and make an informed decision about what university they want to do and what subject they might want to do. So it's really, you know, I know that it's already been mentioned, but the Oxbridge preparation programme really kind of builds on this supercurricular things. We have lots of subject masterclasses that are going on and lots of interview practice, as Ms. Remington has said. But we also do that not just for the Oxbridge and the academic students, but also for students who want to apply to different centres of excellence. We've got lots of people who, you know, spend a lot of time getting really into their art and visiting art galleries. As I say, we went to see the Anthony Gormley exhibition last year, and that really helps people kind of develop their portfolio and their thinking for when they go on to art college. We have students going to music conservatoires and film academies. That's a whistle-stop tour of the enrichment activities, and I'm going to hand you back over to some more students, I think. Thank you.
Hello again, everybody. So we're here with a different group of year 13 who are going to, so Miss Wilson was just talking about life at LaSWAP and enrichment, and Mr. Jones was talking about pastoral care. So the students that we're joined with now are going to be talking about what it's like in terms of outside of the subject areas, what it's like to kind of be at LaSWAP. So let me get them to introduce themselves first. I'm gonna start with.
So hey, I'm Kit, and I do history and then digital media at Acklam Burley. Hi, I'm Bernadette. I do biology, chemistry, and computer science at LSU.
Hi, my name is Mazzy. I do history, English, and French at LSU.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I do history, classics, and religious studies at LSU.
Great. All right then. So let me start with you then, Kit. What is it like kind of being at LaSWAP in terms of what are the things that you enjoy outside of your kind of subject areas? What do you enjoy about the student life at LaSWAP?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer, but really, like, on a whole, because of the facilities as well, and the fact that it's a campus, a LaSWAP, because instead of it just being one individual school, you can go and see your friends in different schools, in so many different places. You know, if I had a friend at LSU when I was working at Ackland Burley, if I had a free period where I didn't have any work, I could go see them. And that's kind of the joy of having everyone in one massive consortium. It's just a really nice area.
Maddie, do you want to carry on?
I would like to say that as well as that, it's having 4 different schools. It's also an opportunity to make new friends as well, because you're not just making friends in one school, you're branching off into 4 different schools, making new friends, seeing new people daily.
Also the fact that even if you don't have to go to all 4 schools, even if you're just based at like one of the schools like LSU or at Parley, all of your subjects are there, you still get to meet new people that maybe you haven't really interacted with. So if you're kind of shy and you don't know how to talk to people, maybe start talking to people in your class and ask them how they feel about the subject that you're doing right now. So that as a basic foundation of you trying to get to know each other.
Okay, so one of the questions I asked the other group is, what did you wish you knew year 11 going into year 12 that you can kind of say to year 11s watching this? What do you wish you knew? Bernadette?
I would say make sure you're researching and looking at exactly what your course of subject entails. Just because you want to make sure you, like, if there's coursework in all your subjects, you want to be able to make sure you can do all of them at the same time. You want to make sure you're looking after yourself at the same time as reaching forward for that further education.
Yeah, I mean, like, I completely agree with that. And also, like, one of the things is that just if you want to really have a good time at the swap, try and do as much as possible, because, you know, if you want to be conservative and like sit back and just do your time, you're not going to have as much as you could if you just got stuck in, met as many people as possible, did as much as possible, and just made the most of what's around you.
I'd also say as well, pick subjects that you love to do, because you don't want to be stuck 2 years doing the subject that you simply just don't enjoy. You want to look, like Bernadette said, make sure you know your subject very well before you decide to pick it, because you don't want to be stuck in December thinking, I hate this subject, and then having to spend 2 years doing the subject that you might not enjoy.
Yeah, adding on to what Maddie and Kit were saying, even if you do end up in that situation, which some of you might do, the teachers here and the support will really help you out with what your options are and what you can do afterwards.
So you all now are in year 13. Yeah, you're all in year 13. So you've kind of gone through you've almost gone through the full cycle of being at LaSWAP. What would you say? So all of these year 11 are coming into year 12. What would you say the main difference is between being in year 12 and year 13? So what do the current year 11 have to look forward to, or not, as the case may be?
I think it's like the preparation towards exams. Like in year 12, you don't really feel it as much because it's only 2 years. But when you get to year 13, you really have this pressure of exams are coming soon. You really need to like buck up and make sure you're doing what you need to.
It's also like getting from year 12 to year 13. You don't feel year 13 when you're in year 12, if that makes sense. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's year 13. I don't really know what it would be like. But when you get into year 13, you will feel that you're at that final stage. There's a little bit more pressure to it because you have so much more to gain. You're at your final step. But at the same time, you know that every single piece of work that you do, everything that you do, hopefully it will pay off at the end.
Yeah, also there will be not more pressure, but more emphasis on your UCAS. So if you are in year 12, maybe over summer, take the time to like start your UCAS application early by getting all your personal information done, your education, like what you did for GCSE and your grades are, and start writing your personal statement early, because then it will allow the teachers more time to look over it and send your UCAS back to see if they need to edit anything, so that by the time you're finished, you can apply for unis early.
I mean, really, on a whole, like, all of these things work, but just get stuck in from day one and just start working hard from year 12 onwards. Because the thing that comes up always is people have a really hard time in year 13. They don't take year 12 seriously. They're both years serious. And the truth is, if you take year 12 seriously and year 13 seriously, you'll have much more fun because you make your own opportunities.
I mean, like Elizabeth and Kit have said, don't slack off in that summer between year 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Like, you have that whole summer holidays between exams and university to have all your fun, but don't waste those 6 weeks, because genuinely, when you come back and you have mocks and all of that, you just need those grades for UCAS and things like that. So take that opportunity of those 6 weeks to revise.
It'll feel really annoying, but that summer after you finish your exams will be the best summer that you will
And
have.
it'll make your university applications a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
It'll make your grades like very good, obviously.
It'll make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So when you made that decision to come to the SWAP, then do you feel like you made, there's only one answer you really can give, isn't it? do you think you made the right decision coming to the SWAP?
I mean,
Yeah. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. To be honest with you, me asking you that question, I don't know what else you would have said. Like, anyway, so I think then that what you're giving a sense to year 11 coming into year 12 is that we do foster an environment of hard work. It is about hard work. To be successful, as they know, preparing for their GCSEs, it is about hard work. But in terms of enjoying yourselves at LaSWAP, do you, in terms of activities, obviously it's pre-pandemic, but in terms of activities, what was some of the activities that you got involved with? Miss Wilson was talking a lot about enrichment. What are some of the activities that you got involved with that you really enjoyed?
So I do digital media, and one of the things super involved with digital media is filming. And in LaSWAP, especially for Ackland Burley, I did a promotional video, which was it was to get a new budget for the hall we had. And doing that with all my other classmates, especially year 13s when I was in year 12 for digital media, it was just so much fun because you get to, instead of just, doing the school work, sitting in a classroom doing coursework, you get to go out and be practical and do physical stuff, which is just, especially with people you enjoy being with. It's nothing more fun than that.
Yeah, on my subjects, I do classics. Our teacher prioritizes a lot of trips and a lot of professors from like top unis such as like Cambridge or King's or LSE to come to talk to us about classics and like other things that could link to it. So classics, one of our subjects we could talk about the stereotypes of men and women, how it's changed or whether or not we have adapted some of the ideologies into today's society. And well, obviously pre-pandemic, but we were able to go to a trip in Greece where we were able to look at the ancient ruins of the Agora, which is like the marketplace, and look at the old temples and how people worship the gods and how their attitudes were back all those thousands of years ago. So that was like a really good opportunity for me also to like get out of the class a bit.
Okay, all right. I think what I really hope that our year 13s have shown you is that whilst we kind of foster hard work, we encourage hard work, it's all about being successful academically. What we wanted to show you is that it's not just about working. Obviously, they've mentioned good examples from their subjects, but it's not just about working. It is about enjoying yourself. And in terms of moving on and progressing from sixth form into your next stages of life, they do want to see what else you do. So it's not just about academic work, it's also about getting involved in clubs. Once we're able to open up clubs again, it's about getting involved in clubs, going on trips, doing super curricular stuff, not just extracurricular. So I want to say thank you to our students, Kit, Bernadette, Maddie and Elizabeth. What I'm going to do now is pause briefly and I'll be back with you to answer some of your questions that you sent in when you registered. That's right.
Just while we are waiting for Mayo, if you're at the beginning of the presentation, several people did mention our website. And so just as a reminder that our website, you can find all of the information about all of our courses. You can find all the information about the entry requirements for those courses. You can find more information about the SWAP. You can find the videos that you've seen this evening. So anything that we have talked about, anything that we have mentioned, you can go over to our website and find that information should you need to see it again or look at it in any more detail.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Okay, so a lot of you found, before we go on to that, our website address is laswap.camden.sch.uk. So again, laswap.camden.sch.uk. And screenshotted kind of key areas where you can kind of click on. So courses, you can look at the A-level subject information, vocational qualifications, the 3-year sixth form. Also under applications, our application form is now live, so you can go and fill out your application form. And a lot of people are asking about entry requirements and how do you get into LaSWAP. So under applications, if you look at entry routes, that will take you to all the entry requirements for all of the subjects. Okay, so applications and courses are the first point of call. And as I said, our application form is now open. The deadline for applications to LaSWAP is the end of January, 31st of January, 2021. My advice to everybody, or our advice to everybody, is do your research first. The application kind of takes you through, asks you to choose subjects, and then it asks you to explain why you've chosen those subjects. So please do your research first before beginning your application. So take the time. It's not a thing of if you apply today, you're more likely to get in than if you applied next week. You apply and we look at your grades when you enroll, okay? So please don't rush. If you think you know what you want to do, definitely apply. We welcome your applications, but don't rush. Take your time, do your research. So I'm now going to kind of move to some of the questions you sent in when you registered. So one of the questions you asked was, are you able to do a mix of disciplines? Well, I hope it came out in there is almost, so I say that tentatively, there's almost no limit to the combinations you can do, but there are some limits depending on which. During these times, we try and keep you, some people are asking, can they travel? Do they have to travel between schools? Yes, you do. We're trying to keep you during these times to two schools. You're not having to travel to 3 or 4 sites. So we're trying to keep you at 2 schools. If you do vocational qualifications, you will have all of your lessons in 1 school. Another question is, can I do health and social care with biology, psychology with an EPQ? Health and social care is a triple award. So you're not able to do any A-levels alongside health and social care. So any subject which is a triple award, you can only do those subjects. Another question, if you don't have your predicted grades at the moment, will this affect anything? No, it won't, but you can't fill out the application form until you know what your predicted grades are. And as I said, there's going to be no penalising for sending it in today and sending it in next week or in 2 weeks' time or even after Christmas. A deadline is the 31st of January, so wait till you get your predicted grades so you know kind of what subjects you could be considering. Is it possible to apply for multiple options and make a decision based on GCSE results? Yes, it is. But what we don't want is people just to kind of choose things randomly. Yeah, I like all of these things. Think about it. Go through that process of just thinking about it. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you think you want to know more about? Use our website, because on our website, it's got course information for every single subject. On our website, the majority of subjects have videos of teachers talking about their subject. On our website, we've also got enrollment assignments, which you have to do before you start. So have a look at the enrollment assignments. Look at what type of work you're expected to do. Don't just choose random things and then turn up and say, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Really take that time. Another question, would I be able to choose the school, what school I'm based at? No, you won't. It will be up to what, it depends on the subject that you're doing. So I'm going to say that as a real kind of statement. Please don't come and say, I definitely want to be here. And if I'm not here, I'm not going to enroll at LaSWAP. we choose the schools that you're based in based on your courses, but sometimes there may be a little bit of flexibility. There's been quite a few people asking about dress code. There's no uniform at LaSWAP. However, we do ask you to kind of come moderately dressed. And by that, I mean midriffs not shown, shoulders out, and so on and so forth. You come as if you're ready to learn, as opposed to going to sit on a beach. Okay, another question is, will I have the opportunity to chat to specific course teachers? Unfortunately, because of the time that we're in, you won't have an opportunity to talk face-to-face with a course teacher. As I've said to you, we've got videos now on the website where teachers explain kind of about their subjects, so you'll be able to hear from them. If you have subject-specific questions, you can email the LaSWAP email address. But I would say to you, just use, so you can use like specific subject questions, and then we'll forward it on to subject teachers. Can we offer law at sixth form? No, we don't offer law. Computer science, is computer science an A-level? Yes, computer science is an A-level offered at LaSWAP. There's no catchment area. Someone asked about catchment area. There's no catchment area. You can apply from wherever you are. Obviously, think about the travel into LaSWAP. There's no issues. Okay. Someone's thinking about doing a degree in architecture. I think product design is a really good one, but I think what you should do is have a look at some of our courses and see where they say it can take you. But architecture, I think product design, maths is good as well, and physics. But have a look and also send a question in to our LaSWAP email address. Okay, how many days a week are your vocational courses? It depends on the course. It will tell you kind of how many days a week. Vocational courses are double awards. So it will be kind of 2 times an A-level, and the triple awards will be 3 times an A-level. And A-levels is 10 hours a week. If you're doing a triple award, it will be 10 times a fortnight. Sorry, 10 hours a fortnight, apologies. If you're doing a triple award, it would be 30 hours over the fortnight. I think I'm right there. I hope I am. I'm sure my colleagues will tell me after whether I was right or not. So I feel like I've answered all the questions that were sent in, because a lot of the questions were answered through the webinar. So what I'll do now, next slide, please. So our applications are open and they're on the website. So if you go to the website, there's a big button that says apply now, and we welcome your applications. But can I please remind you that it's going to take a while. In fact, let me tell you, it's going to take about half an hour to fill out, half an hour to 40 minutes to fill out the application, and you can't save your progress. So please, you have to be ready to do it and sit down before you start. I don't want people to start and then kind of realize they can't save their progress. But we welcome your applications. I hope we've given you a real sense of LaSWAP. Thank you so much for spending the evening with us. If you have any questions, please email us. Please check our website. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.